we are approaching the end of version 3.5, even though there are 2 weeks left. And with the end of this version, we're going to have the opportunity to send some feedback. And over here, I think that this survey, this questionnaire in particular for version 3.5, it's a very important one because a lot of people have already taken it. And they've said some very, very particular things about the questions on there. Things like playtime, things like why you're maybe not playing as much. And I think the realization over here is very simple. I'm looking to see whether or not Kuro has just confirmed all of the suspicions that I've been having across this patch. That 3.5 hasn't actually landed in the ways that it feels like it maybe should have. With all of the effort, right, that was put into things like... And we all remember this when you had like the Tekken guy like leaking the gameplay kits. People really thought that this was going to be another bombshell patch, right? And I think this patch was kind of like the opposite of that. Once the dust is settled, the version's here, the events are being played, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead. Let's go on this journey together. Let's skip another letter from Yang Yang because we don't care about her at all. And I think Kuro's recognized that, especially from what we've seen of the 3.6 live stream where Yang Yang is nowhere to be found. 3.5, player satisfaction. Oh boy, get your microscope ready, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna be a rough one. Let us know your age. I'm gonna say I'm 34. So far, how would you rate your overall experiment or your overall experience in Wuthering Waves version 3.5? New content includes, well, all that stuff down there. All right. I think it's gonna have to be either a dissatisfied or a very dissatisfied. One or the other. I don't think that I hate the patch enough for it to be very dissatisfied. But I think when you combine everything together, that's what it boils down to. Because there are so many bad events in this patch. But there is some good stuff, right? That brings it out of the very dissatisfied territory for me. I could see why you go to neutral, but I think it's really hard to make the arguments for satisfied or very satisfied. That's my personal take. I think if satisfied or very satisfied is a tough sell. But I could see neutral, I could see dissatisfied from a good portion of the player base. I'm going to go with dissatisfied, probably because I personally didn't like the story as much as some other people. Based on your experience, how satisfied are you with the following? World exploration. I'm putting it dissatisfied because I don't like how the bike works. The bike is not made for Mangzhou. The bike was made for Lahai Roi, and the bike works well in Lahai Roi. But the bike does not work well in Mangzhou, and it just is something that literally makes me not want to explore the region at all. The visuals, however, are amazing. That's what I want to get straight. I love a lot about the design of Mangzhou, but I don't want to explore it. It's like a beautiful thing I don't want to touch. Kind of like, you know, like a... I'm not going to continue that one, right? So, like, that is just what it feels like. And I feel like I need a better form of exploration for me to want to engage with the region. Beyond just looking at it. Story. Let's be real here. The second half of this update felt wrong, right? I'm just talking about this from like a pacing angle. The second half of this update felt incorrect because there wasn't any story. That was just diabolical for the second half of the patch to release, and there was nothing except like one level of Virtual Crisis and like one level of Flappy Bird and nothing else in the update. The pacing was like, just in terms of like an actual 42-day patch, one of the worst things I've ever seen. Then you take into account the fact that, like, the story itself was, well, you can have your own opinions on it. I thought it was a boring story. We're in the land of, like, flying airships and, like, basically, what is in the 3.6 quest is, like, kind of what I was expecting for the 3.5 story. Bro, you just be spending, bro, they got the fucking plate, bro. You just be spending 90% of your time in like a fucking village, bro. Like you just like goofing around, right? Spending all your time in a fucking village over here with this goofy ass Miyu, right? And then I look at like 3.6 and what's supposed to be occurring in here, and I'm like, oh, this is like what I was like kind of expecting. Because let me show you like the exact scene in particular that like here we go. Bro, this thing is like 10 minutes long. I was expecting more of like stuff like this in the introductory patch. That's like what I was talking about. Like, I expected us to like be going into like the airships, like the tech, all of that, not spending 4 hours in a fucking dusty village. Like I think this is what we all thought was going to happen in the first, like in the region introduction. You get introduced to the region like, bro, it's a new region introduction patch, but we didn't get introduced to the new region's mechanic, which is the sword flight. And like now we get it in 3.6. Like, do you see what's going on over here? It's like, to me, it felt like 3.5 and 3.6 are almost like reverse patches. Like I would rather have like had something like this first, and then you could start delving into like the villages and stuff. You know what's going on, right? Personally, to me, I think that's one of the big reasons for why 3. Like it's just, the story to me was not it. But I will say this. Aside from that, it's getting dinged down from very satisfied, though, because of the Yang Yang song that played over and over. It's like, bah, bah, bah. You know. All right, let's move on. It was accurate, though, wasn't it? That's what it sounded like in game. Don't fucking play. Based on your experience in the current version, how satisfied are you with the following? So, this is what I'll say regarding performance optimizations. They've started getting this weird, like, RAM crash that has not been occurring recently. And that's the biggest one that I feel like I've seen everybody getting. This Unreal Engine 4 crash that has come out of nowhere in this most recent update. And it's been happening kind of frequently. Yeah, like the Fatal Error one. That one isn't as bad for me particularly because I've only gotten it like 2 times, but I know some people that are getting it more. And apparently there's like stuttering with ray tracing and stuff like that. So it is like, yeah, this is obviously something that they're going to be tackling head on in the next update. So I expect this to change very soon. Resonator visuals. Soy Soy is too bright. I can't see shit in actual, like, most content in the game when, like, the camera is, like, lining up with, like, Soy Soy's, like, fucking, what's it called? Soy Soy's fucking field that she makes on her liberation, and then I'm blinded and I can't see and I die. I think that there definitely needs to be, like, some sort of, like, visual clarity issue with that character because, good God, what the fuck is going on? Which is on the field sometimes. Yeah, I think there's definitely, it's, for a support character, she's taking up too much visual clarity. Because, like, that shit is not really doing anything, bro. And now, Resonator building. Resonator building in this version. I'm gonna have to give it a very dissatisfied because whatever the fuck they did with, like, trapping you in the story and, like, having some moments where you're teleported back and some moments where you're not, and it's not, like, actually clear where when you're free to go and when you're in fucking bondage, bro. I'm gonna be honest. That made the Resonator building itself, this version, a fucking nightmare. Plus, you nerfed tacit fields and boss challenges by removing your resources on the loading screen reset. So your quality of life in this situation actually made it take longer to grind and build characters because now you're taking longer to kill bosses, you're taking longer to clear tacit fields if you go from the menu. So like to me, this is sort of just like there's a lot of fucked up stuff that made building characters this update somehow worse than in prior updates. And that's just the fair thing to say. And now combat. Bro, what is Virtual Crisis? Dodge for 5 minutes and then one rotate the boss when they finally take damage because you gave them 20 million HP. Bro, the combat this update and the WuWa's HP inflation too on top of it, bro, there are a lot of reasons for why this patch sucks. And like the end game literally getting worse in WuWa and then Virtual Crisis feeling like the worst game mode I think I've ever played in the game. Where it's just dodge for 5 minutes. Dude, it's not fun. It feels like it was not play tested. All right, what else we got? Based on your experience in the current version, how satisfied are you with the following? Co-op. I'm going to put very satisfied next patch, most likely, because they finally are bringing co-op holograms back. But there's been no co-op, bro. You can't even... Bro, there's been none. UI design. Has anything been bad lately? Don't think so on the UI side, so I don't think there's anything to complain about there. And events and challenges. Bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. Are you serious? This event probably has some of the worst events I've ever seen. Dude, they're not good. Fucking Flappy Bird, fucking Lament Recon, Ass Boy Soldier, like, and then, bro, Virtual Ass. Dude, get that shit out of here, bro. What do you think about the amount of playable content in version 3.5? Bro, how can I say there's excessive content that I don't want to play? How can I say there's a fuck ton of boring-ass, gay-ass, lame-ass events that I don't want to play? I don't want to play Lament Recon. I don't want to play Virtual Crisis. I don't want to do the Flappy Bird. So in a lot of ways, it's too much content, but it's not like actually enough. It's actually like not enough content. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there needs to be another type of question on here for a situation like this where there's clearly a appropriate level of content, but it's all content that's dog shit. Too much bad content. I'm just going to put in the middle. And I hope I have the opportunity to talk about the bad content. How do you rate the following aspects of the Southern WuWa's Hills? I mean, environment visuals and then world exploration. I mean, I could just put dissatisfied because I got to take the fucking motorbike here. Why is it satisfied? Bro, are they asking me really questions about the fucking environmental design? Bro, I don't want to talk about this fucking shit. I want to talk about the fucking events. Bro, just get me. I don't want to talk about this. Get me the fuck out. I don't want to talk about that one. But bro, what? I didn't explore the fucking region because the bike feels like shit. Dude, I might have to exit out of this and get a different survey. They're asking me retarded questions. Wait, so I can just exit out of here and then it'll give me a different version? Is that what's gonna happen?
A few moments later.
All right, we're just gonna skip forward. We're just gonna skip forward again. It was dissatisfied over here. I think we put for world exploration, we put very dissatisfied. Music and sound effects, very satisfied. Or satisfied. Environment visuals, it was very, and then story was dissatisfied. I think that's what it was. What's next? Resonator visuals. Soy is blinding. Combat was ass this version. Resonator building, not very good. And performance optimization, not very good. What else we got? Based on your experience, how satisfied are you with the following? Co-op, there was fucking none. UI seems fine. And events and challenges were dog shit. What else? All right. Is this the one that determines which one you fucking get? Okay, bro. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. There we go. Now this is the type of survey that I wanted to. Now this is the type of shit that we need over here. Don't ask me that retarded shit about the environment. The fuck? Who gives a fucking shit? Here we go. Overall satisfaction. I guess the UI design is fine. Gameplay innovation. Bro, you input and feedback. You don't do anything. Challenge difficulty. So, when the main feedback that people are giving me is that they just AFK for X amount of minutes, click once in a while, and then go play YouTube on the side, and that's all I've heard, I don't need to play this to know it's bad. When all I've seen, frame one of this update, is people bitching about this event, I don't need to play it. It takes forever, apparently. It's not fun, and the main gameplay meta of it is to sit there and do nothing, and watch the enemies die and explode on you. Buff and stand in the spot. You can run in a circle and beat the hardest level on any character. No challenge, shit ton of time, not engaging, very boring, waste of your life. I think we're ready to move on. Why is it not satisfactory? Oh boy, guys. Low damage for dash and... Okay, low freedom of interaction in matches. All I did was move around. Yeah, no, that's definitely going to be one. Poor lock-on, I don't think that matters. It took too long. I like roguelike, hack and slash game. Bro, where's the hacking and where is the slashing? Bro, are they on drugs? Wait, where is the hacking and where is the slashing? Huh? Challenges were too easy. 100%. Took too long to obtain all the asteroids. Yep. Gameplay, repetitive and monotonous. Gameplay very Bro, this is me reiterating my feedback from the last time I played this game mode. And apparently it has not changed. Too similar. Challenges were too difficult, probably not. Overpowered enemies, not exciting to play with fully built resonators. Oh, what do you mean fully built resonators? You mean the ones that I'm grinding echoes for? Simply don't like roguelike hack and slash? No. And I'll put the overall detailed prompts. Yeah, I think these are the main ones. I think that's good. I think we're ready to move on. Why is it satisfactory? No specific reason. Or surely there's something good on here, right? Was it thrilling combat? Because it took a long time to do all of these. Was the warning good? What about the infinite mode? Nobody played the infinite mode. Yeah, there was nothing good about this fucking shit. Did you play Lamite Recon Solaris Soldier? Yes, I did. No, just stop running this dog shit game mode. Just delete it. Bro, never have it return. I had to experience this awful game mode twice. This was like getting cancer twice. What else can I say? What previous events would you like to see return to the game? more co-op game modes featuring explorable stages. I won't put it in caps. More co-op game modes featuring either waves of enemies, bosses, etc. These are the most replayable, fun, and community-building events in the game, but we get them literally once every 1 to 1.5 years. Your cooldown period on the best events in the game are ridiculous, especially considering you reran Solaris Soldier, Lament Recon twice before we had a single rerun of any co-op events. Bro, they ran Lament Recon twice before we got another hologram. Banners Never Fall is also a good event for combat. There we go. Boom. All right, how satisfied are you with Ming Shen notices? I'm gonna put dissatisfied for this main reason. Why is Ming Shen notices not satisfactory? I mean, this is kind of like the thing. It's related to exploration. And exploration in this update sucks. And so naturally, I'm going to say the exploration events in this update aren't good because the exploration itself isn't good because the bike is dog ass. And that's like the main take over here. The exploration involves use of the motorbike, which feels terrible in Mengzhou. As a result, I am rating every exploration aspect of this update low. Is that fair to say? I am unable to rate this whole deduction part, though, because I didn't. Are you satisfied with Shape of yesterday? I mean, it is what it is. It's like a permanent event that they've had for every single region. I don't ever do these, but if you do, great. But the fact that I don't feel a need to do them, there's no FOMO to do them at all, and I can just go in and do all of them later. At a certain point, if I'm desperate for Astrite, is like, cool. Yeah, it's just, I'd rather they just be converted into free rewards, but I'm also fine with them just being a task for people to do, right? So that's why I'm neutral on them. I don't think anyone really cares. Why is Shape of Yesterday not satisfactory? It is a very low input, low effort photo collecting event that I just don't do. However, since it is permanent, I feel like it is okay. I would prefer if the rewards were just given out instead. Does that make sense? I would prefer they just throw the asteroid at you and just say fuck off, right? Like I'd rather not do it and just get the asteroid, but I'm also fine with it being in there and me not getting the asteroid either because it's a very low amount. It's like 180 pulls every patch. It's like one pull is in this event every patch. I don't really care about not getting it, or I can get it if I want to. It never expires, so like I truly don't care. It's just very lukewarm. Now, recaptured action highlights. Oh boy. I was pretty satisfied with this one. I think there were some opportunities to make it better, but it is the best event in the patch. Dude, this is the worst. This is possibly, in terms of like what you were expecting and what you got, I think this was the worst event in the history of the game. Bro, this is like this is like your parents on Christmas saying they're going to get you a PS5 and then they get you a PS2. That's what this felt like, because Virtual Crisis by itself, what is a good event? It was good the last 2 times it ran. So the third time you expect it to be good as well. And then it is the worst combat event they've had in the history of the game. It is the worst combat event they've had in the history of the game. Where at 40 stress, unless you have whale units, you dodge for 5 minutes and there's no other way to beat the boss. And it was time-gated. But I guess the time-gating was good because it wasn't fun and nobody wanted to fucking play it. Why is it not satisfactory? You turn stress level 40. Level 40 clears from a fun, engaging, mechanics-filled battle with the boss to a dodge check for 5+ minutes because you gave these enemies so much HP, no S0R1 team, only whales, can clear within 5 minutes. Then you give everyone a 999% damage/attack buff after 5 minutes, which makes the fight clearable. This makes every stress level 40 fight a slog where you are just supposed to either run away from the boss or spam dodges for 5 whole minutes. This is not even slightly fun. It feels like it was play tested by toddlers. And only one run getting full stress level points should tell you this was not a cook. Plus, what are these goofy modules that just delete stats from your character? Why not just remove the dodge button, concerto, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, basic attacks as well. Fuck it, just delete everything. This feels equivalent to removing a mechanic like dodge or concerto. An absolutely ridiculous barrier to operate around that is both unfun, uninteractive, and also makes the S0R1 DPS check impossible to meet because you can't even use your character's abilities. This 20% ER nonsense just further reinforces the awful gameplay loop at stress level 40 that makes this event one of the worst ones in the history of the game. You set an incredibly high standard for Virtual Crisis in its first 2 iterations, and now you've brought them to below sea level with this 3rd one. Actually, dog ass. I fucking hate this game mode so much. Next, how satisfied are you with Fantasies 1000 Gateways? I'm just neutral on it. It's just all right. Like I don't care about it. I don't care about it, but I have nothing against it. It's just 5 minutes of goofy fun every week. It is what it is. All right, why is it not satisfactory? I mean, it's just I'm a little bored of it by now. Bored of it, but it's not really that bad. Like, that's just kind of it. Like, I've been you could also bring the echo boxes back. Like, yeah, it is what it is. It's just, it's been in the game for a really long time. So it's just, it naturally gets stale because it's been in the game for a really long time, but there's nothing like inherently bad or wrong with it. Yeah, I mean, what else can I say? How satisfied are you with version 3.5's text quality? This question is about the writing itself, not just about the plot or narrative. Writing quality. Did the writing quality feel like it took a dip? I don't necessarily think so. I don't think the writing quality took a dip. I just think the writing was in the wrong places. Yeah, I think I could just put satisfied here. Any more feedback or suggestions regarding the text quality? Bring Senpai back. Yeah, I just want to see how pissed off people get. That would be funny as fuck. Are you aware of the Wuthering Waves? Are they trying to... Bro, they put an ad in here? Bro. Yeah, relatively. Yeah, let's just say we're relatively well aware. Yeah, I know it happened because I keep getting linked the damn thing. After learning about the concert, has your willingness to spend in WuWa changed compared to before? No change because I'm already spending money on the game, so it is what it is for me. After learning, has your login frequency... No, I still log in every day. All right, has your frequency of watching... No, I'm a content creator. All right, after watching... Bro! Dude! I did none of these! To what extent did the... Dude, we'll say slightly increased, because, like, yes, Kuro has the big budget, boys. Okay, alright. Oh! Dude, this is... Alright. People said it was good. You know, I'm just gonna take the fact that everyone was recommending it to me. You know, I'm just gonna base my answer off of what I saw from the community. It's obviously a fucking 10 because everyone's spamming that shit to me. Have you ever seen this question? And this is how I know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm right. Have you ever seen this question on a survey before? And this was the question I was saying a lot of people got. Compared to version 3.4 and earlier, how would you describe your overall activity, login frequency, or playtime in 3.5? When have you ever seen this on a prior survey? This is the devs basically saying, we know people are playing this update way less. And you guys know what that means? Oh, I know this is going to piss some people off, but this is the truth regarding the matter, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of retards in the community that like to take this stance of opposition. The CC says something that is objectively correct with all of the facts and the details, right? Given to him by the developers, and then you just go ahead and say that the motherfucker's wrong because, well, Saint's always got to be wrong, right? Even though Saint's got a track record of being right. And basically, in this video over here, you can see it's got a sizable number of downvotes. What I was telling people was that them moving up their live stream early was them admitting 3.5 was a bit of a flop. People weren't really that excited for what was going on in the second half of the patch, so on and so forth. TLDR, another video from Saint to gaslight himself into believing 3.5 was bad when it wasn't. So is this Kuro gaslighting you now? Hey, I guess according to the Wuthering Waves community, ladies and gentlemen, now Kuro Games themselves are trying to gaslight us that 3.5 was bad. Or this is yet another admission from the developers that the patch didn't do well. Because this is what I will comfortably say about this update compared to 3.4. Yes, I log in every day still. But the amount of time I've actually spent playing anything in 3.5 is literally non-existent. I am at 0 levels in Lament Recon. I have, like, not really done Ming Shen. I have not really done virtual... I don't want to play this update. And that's the simple truth regarding the matter, because there's so much wrong with it. So much wrong with it. Woo! Here we go. What are the main reasons for your decreased activity in version 3.5? Poor community atmosphere or negative game discussions? Nope. That is not the reason. And if anything, I feel like this being on here is one of the goofiest things ever, because why would the community have poor atmosphere? Because there's nothing to do in the game that's fun. It's not a fun update. And that's going to lead to the community saying it's not a fun update, right? So it's kind of like this is a cause of everything else in here. Oh, they saw what happened with CN? Oh, this is because of the whole CN situation and like that. Okay, I see what's going on. Yeah, they're talking. Okay. Kuro's clearly referencing the ongoing Wuthering Wave. Like you guys know the drama that's going on. Yeah. Last thing I will say is this regarding the CN drama. The CN drama, ladies and gentlemen, is surrounding the story. And basically, I think I've got a PowerPoint over here that one of my Chinese viewers actually made. Let me go check it out real fast. I think I've got a PowerPoint over here that one of my Chinese viewers made that like actually breaks down like how much drama there is going on. This is gonna be a little bit goofy, but this is just like a summary that was made, and it's just looking at like the spectrum of voters, where some people are critical of like the story. Some people are like defensive of it. Some people are like in the middle. You can see all this Chinese shit. And so basically, right, these are like all of like the like ratings that people are making, right? Critical level 10, if it's in red, these are people shitting on the story. There's a lot of people in CN that were shitting on the story. There were a fair number of people defending it and stuff like that, but don't worry, like this is kind of like the main takeaway. These are from videos. Literally videos that people uploaded online, and you can see the criticism. New NPC deaths, rush romance, split POV pacing, like all of that stuff, right? It's all there. So yeah, basically, this just means that this take regarding the story, the drama going back and forth, it's way crazier in CN than it is over here. I've just been the one guy telling the truth about the game's story. Everyone's just been astroturfing that I called them retarded idiots and go away. CN, though, they've been going wild, buck wild. Like, they have had a lot of discourse surrounding it. And so this question, it's not at all related to EN because the drama over here surrounding the story was like a little piss in the river, while CN's having like a fucking tsunami back and forth regarding that. Not interested in the content. Yep. Issues with rewards and monetization experience. No, I think the rewards and stuff are fine this patch. Not interested in the poor experience of the core gameplay or had a poor experience with the core gameplay of Wuthering Waves. Combat, core progression, character progression, etc. No, not that one. The only thing that's bringing me back is the end game. Yeah, the most engaged I've been in on this patch and the most engaged my videos have been in on this patch are the TOA clears and the WuWa clears. That is the only thing that actually has gotten regular views across the entirety of the update for me. TOA and WuWa views. There was really nothing else that stuck out this patch. So yeah, I'm not going to say that. Personal reasons. No time, lost interest in playing. Nah. Device performance issues. Nah. Previously logged in only to experience the Cyberpunk Edge Runners collab content and not interested in subsequent ones. That might be a big one as well. Because this is where I feel like Kuro needs a really good answer over here. They could really relegate all of this fall off, right? To just the Cyberpunk collab and the people leaving. They could literally like go in with the mindset of, oh, this patch was just a fluke because of everyone leaving from the collab. So the drop is normal and like we should just keep doing what we're doing. I want to send them the opposite message because this patch, on top of it being the patch after the collab, is truly not good. It's truly not a good patch, even with the Cyberpunk collab debuff. So please, make sure you identify that the issues are with 3.5. Not the fact that this is just the patch after the collab. No, 3.5 is not a good patch. Based on your experience in games so far, do you have any additional feedback or suggestions? This is the main thing that I'm going to be saying over here. I am already seeing Kuro make adjustments to the story and the ensemble of characters accompanying us from the 3.6 livestream. Obviously, Yang Yang is taking a step back, which is fantastic for the future of the game. She is one of the worst written characters I've seen in a gacha title. That has her competing with Yi Sheng-guang from Zenless Zone Zero as the most embarrassing, like fucking OC dev's girlfriend put into their game. Please stop putting your dream relationship, female or male, whatever, into these games. These are games, not real life. Stop putting your friends into the fucking game. Stop. Yang Yang would be a great girlfriend. She's a boring gacha character. Yi Sheng-guang would be a great girlfriend, but a boring gacha character. Stop putting your dream significant other in the fucking game. And that's it. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Because I'm really, really disappointed with version 3.5. I thought 3.5 was like a slam dunk for a good update, and the things that you thought were like given weren't. That's just what it is. It's like things you thought were like, bro, it's like one day you wake up and apples are suddenly blue. You were like, wait, apples are supposed to be green or red. Why is this bitch blue? And they're like, no, apples have always been blue. Like Virtual Crisis has always sucked ass. It doesn't make sense, right? Like you assume game modes like Virtual Crisis are going to be amazing. It's the worst thing I've experienced in this game in a while. Then the story, you thought it's going to be good. It's the worst story I've experienced in this game in a while. Sagrika was better. I just hope other people, other individuals take the opportunity to give their honest feedback for this update, because you know yourself. I have never seen a question talking about why you didn't play the update at all. Bro, I don't even remember seeing that during the Sigrika patch. Literally, skip Rika. And yet I see it here. First time I've ever fucking seen it. Why are you not playing the game? And then they got detailed ass reasons for why people aren't playing the game, because they already know. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, Sate was right again. Sate was right again. 3.5 did bomb. It's unfortunate. But the sooner we're able to recognize that, see what the faults and the errors are, the sooner everything can get fixed and the game can get better. Let me know what you all thought. Peace.